I bring you back to Ghana. 5 companies selected by government to produce personal protective equipment to aid the fight against the novel coronavirus infection are starting work this week. In his address to the nation last night, that will be Sunday, President Akufo-Addo disclosed that local capacity is being mobilized to ensure that the country overcomes the challenge of global shortage of PPEs. Earlier today, Health Minister Kweku Agyeman offered details about the production of face masks as he took delivery of thousands of medical supplies and PPEs from the Chinese government.
Across the globe, many frontline health workers in countries including the US and the United Kingdom have raised concerns about inadequate PPEs, a situation which exposes them to the virus. Many have had to take the tough decision to walk away from their jobs to protect their lives. In Ghana, some frontline health personnel, including nurses and doctors, threatened to quit after calls on authorities to provide them with the critical equipment went unheeded. But help has come with China stepping in to assist government's efforts at procuring the PPEs. Well, it's another day in Ghana's fight against the coronavirus disease, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the talk on the lips of almost every Ghanaian and health worker or a frontline person has been the lack of PPEs or logistics to fight this disease. Today, the government of China is donating huge quantities of PPEs to Ghana to help in our fight. As you see behind me, there is an Air China cargo flight. We just landed at the Kotoka International Airport to deliver all of these. In all, 18 countries in Africa are benefiting from this. This Air China cargo plane, carrying millions of dollars worth of medical supplies and personal protective equipment, landed in Ghana's capital on Monday as the base for distribution to Ghana and 17 other African countries.
You know, China is a real friend of Africa. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Africa, you have a weak public health system. So facing this coronavirus, and you have huge challenges. So now Chinese government, we are the first country to send the chartered aircraft to come to Ghana, to come to Africa to give assistance. That is the nature of our relations. That's the nature of our friendship.
Each beneficiary African country is receiving N95 protective face mask for medical use, standard protective face mask for medical use, disposable coveralls, infrared thermometer, medical goggles, single-use sterile rubber surgical gloves, and disposable shoe cover. Health Minister Kweku Agyeman admitted the country's health systems have been stretched by the outbreak of COVID-19. He also revealed Ghana would soon begin production of PPEs.
Ghana, we never expected that we'll even get a single case of coronavirus. Unfortunately, this has become a global problem, and as part of the globe, we couldn't have hidden ourselves away from it. We made all efforts to try to protect our people, to prevent the disease getting into our country. Fortunately, our efforts didn't yield 100% efficiency. We have seen cases, people have infiltrated, we are seeing some levels of community spread, and we have put our young men and women with coordinators, supporting them, giving advice to government, and we are tracing contacts to try to test. We are doing so many tests at the moment. We are trying to expand the testing capacity to ensure that test results will not continue to delay any longer. We are very grateful to the People's Republic of China for this gesture, not only to Ghana, but other West African countries. We never had stocks for emergency response when the problem started, but government has tried to do a lot to try to put in protective equipment, especially for our health workers, for other people who are working in the front line. As we moved on, it is becoming more clear that we may need to all of us begin to wear some of these masks for protection. We are continuing to try to develop some of these equipments for protection in country, and soon we will see government efforts also coming. By the end of the week, about 5 companies that we have selected will start sewing some of these coveralls, the protective masks, and all that we need will be able to be provided in our country. The first instance, within the next 10 days, we are taking deliveries from locally manufactured companies, 3.6 million face masks that will help us a lot in fighting the disease.
Ghana's Foreign Minister Shirley Ayokoboche, who was joined by heads of mission of the other 17 beneficiary African countries, praised China's gesture.
For China to donate these very needed PPEs, I think it's something that will go a long way to help our frontline workers, which are the health workers who receive patients, to feel comfortable, because you see, they are willing to work, to do their work, to look after patients. However, what they need from us is to ensure that they are protected. And what China is presenting today is the protection equipment. So we are very happy. It will go a long way to help. And as I'm sure you're aware, not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, Jack Ma, also a Chinese national, donated some equipment to the African countries. And we are looking to receive a second batch from him. The ambassador has also graciously told us that if there is any need, we should let them know.
Meanwhile, the Chinese government has denied claims on social media that the protective gear from China are defective and is the cause of escalation of cases in some European countries.
And the video surrounding the social media are fake. It's made by the malicious people. They have some, malicious purpose to tarnish the image of China. China, our product is very reliable. The cell phones, from computers to, the different kind of products, very reliable. So everybody who with a normal sense could say this is a fake news.
From the Kotoka International Airport, this is Fred Smith for JoyNews.